Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina and I'm an artist living in Little Rock, Arkansas. In this video, I'll be going over everything that I use to run my small art business. I have been running my art business for a few years now, and it has taken me that long to acquire all of the things that I use. I had to work full-time as a cake decorator to save up for like a laptop, camera, printer, shipping supplies, and all of that stuff. So please don't feel bad if you can't afford all of this stuff all at once. It took me a long time to gather everything up. You definitely learn as you grow and your business grows with you. So anyway, let's get into it. The first thing that I want to talk about are the art materials. This is probably the most important thing to me since I'm a painter and that's how I make a living. I use acrylic paints like Liquitex and Golden. I like to use a combination of heavy body acrylics and acrylic inks. I usually do acrylic inks for the base layers, and then for the topmost layers I start adding kind of more thicker paint. That's just personally how I work with acrylics. I also really love acrylic inks because they work perfectly for glazing. And lately I have been using this apple barrel matte black acrylic to paint the sides of my paintings, and I love the look it gives. I sometimes like to use a slow dry fluid medium to prevent the paint from drying so fast. It reduces the drying time. And I also use golden molding paste for added texture. And for my brushes, I use a combination of flat, filbert, and round, and I mostly stick with the small sizes since lately I just paint small. I use this super tiny 000 brush. I'm just probably going to include some extra footage of it, but it is so tiny and it works perfectly to get those really fine details. I mentioned this in my last video on how I make acrylic paintings look like oil, and the thing that helps me to achieve that look is by using a fine mist water bottle. You can either spray this on your canvas or on your palette, and it makes blending acrylics so much easier for me. Speaking of palettes and surfaces, I use this Easy Peel palette. It is very easy to peel the paint off of it, and I quite like it. It's a really nice big surface too. And I primarily use small wood plaques for my paintings, although I have been trying to get more into bigger canvases lately. To prepare my plaques, I use Liquitex gesso, but I'm sure any acrylic gesso will probably do. I've used cheap kinds before and they've worked perfectly fine. I also use a small glass container with water in it to clean my brushes and a rag to wipe my brushes on. Since I paint small, I usually work on my desk, so I use this small tabletop easel. It's really nice and sturdy, and I've been using it for years now. It's perfect. So that's it for the art materials. Now let's get into the tech that I use. I absolutely would not be able to run my business without my Asus VivoBook Pro. This is a really good laptop. I've had it for like 4 years and it's just been really nice to me. It's not the best laptop in the world, but it works perfectly for the things that I want to do. I'm able to run Adobe Premiere without anything weird happening, and it's also touchscreen if that's something that matters to you. Don't just grab this laptop because I use it. I would definitely recommend going online and doing your own research. It really just depends what you want out of a laptop. I think when I was doing my research on laptops, I wanted something that was really good with running video editing software, and so far I think this is a really great one for running Adobe Premiere. But I'm also simple. I don't really have any complaints about it, other than the battery is like really bad, but it's whatever. I just keep it plugged in all the time. The next tech device I use is an iPad 7th generation and also the 1st generation Apple Pencil. I use Procreate on my iPad. That was actually the main reason why I wanted to get an iPad in the first place, is because I kind of wanted to try out digital art. I'm still mainly a traditional artist though, but I do like to polish up my sketches in Procreate just so I can get them exactly how I want before I transfer the sketch to a surface. I only spent around $350 for this iPad. I didn't want the Pro, but I also didn't want the Mini, so I felt like this one was like a good in-between. For my camera, I use the Canon M50, which is what I'm actually filming on right now. I wanted to get this camera because it looks really good to me, and it also has a flip-out viewfinder, which is really good for vlogging. You can also change out the lenses and shoot in 4K if that's something that's important to you. I've noticed that it doesn't really work that well in low light, but it works perfectly for doing my flat lay photography. Those are pretty much the photos that I use for my online shop, and I really like the result it gives. think it does a really good job at doing that. I'm honestly still learning this camera. I am not a photographer, I am not a pro, but I would recommend looking up reviews on YouTube to see if this is the right camera for you. For my printer, I use the HP Photo 7855. I got this as a gift from my boyfriend and it's a wonderful printer. You don't need an expensive printer, but it really just depends on what you want out of it. At first, I really just wanted a printer to print out sketches to transfer, and I also wanted to print out my own shipping labels. So I ended up getting just a really cheap Canon printer that was like $60. Really the only thing to keep in mind when getting a printer and the price range and the quality is if you want to make prints from home. I don't do my own prints. I usually just get them ordered in bulk through an online printer. Alright, so that's it for the tech, so let's move on to shipping supplies. Most of the supplies I use are from Eco Enclose, and I made a huge order from them a few years ago when I started my first Etsy, and I am still going through most of the stuff that I ordered at that time. Mind you, that order was like a little over $300 because I bought everything in pretty large quantities because you can get the best deal that way. I think the prices are actually really good, especially for the quality that you get, but I do remember the shipping was kind of expensive and took me off guard. I believe my last $60 order had like a $20 shipping fee. So anyway, back to the supplies. The tab lock rigid mailers are super thick. These are really good quality and they're actually super rigid. These are perfect for shipping art prints. I also use these recycled and recyclable poly bags to protect my prints from moisture. Eco Enclose does have glassine bags now if you want to go plastic free, and I think once I'm done with my stack of poly bags, I'm going to transition to these. So for my small original paintings, I use these small boxes. I think they go by Literature Mailers on their website. I have 3 different sizes of these on hand, and you can also do a custom size. I have a couple of things that I got from Amazon, like these small padded bubble mailers. These are really good for shipping out like little clay charms or keychains and whatnot. And I also have these 9 by 11.5 rigid mailers that I really needed in a pinch. If I were to compare these to the ones from Eco Enclose, I definitely think the ones from Eco Enclose are better quality though, and they're more rigid like how I mentioned before. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Eco Enclose. I just really like their products. I like them as a company. They just sell really good quality stuff. I have been using bubble wrap lately to protect my paintings when I ship them, but there is more of an eco-friendly option, and that's called corrugated bubble wrap. I will like insert a photo like right here and show you what it looks like. Honestly, I just recommend going to their website and see if they have the things right for you. I also use tissue paper to make my paintings feel a little bit more special, and sometimes I decorate the tissue paper with some like cute little stickers. Another way I brand my packaging is by using a custom stamp. I have this one that says cool things inside, and I put this on my outer packaging and I think it looks really cute. And to further protect my mail, I have these cute pink do not bend stickers that I put on the outer packaging, and some tape of course to seal everything. Another shipping tool I want to mention is my kitchen scale. I use this to weigh my packages so I can print my own labels from home. This saves a lot of time so you don't have to wait in line at the post office, and it's also cheaper to print your own labels. I just print my labels on some sticker paper and cut them out with scissors. One of these days I'm gonna get one of those really fancy label printers and I'm gonna feel so legit with it. I think the Munbin brand has this really cute pink one. It just looks so freaking cute. Those are pretty much all of the materials I use to run my small art business. Of course, if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll try my best to answer them. And also like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and if you would like to see more from me. If you would like to support me, I do have a shop and a Patreon, and I'm still accepting commissions. I hope you have a great day. Thank you to making it to the end of this video. It means a lot. I will see you in the next video. Bye.